Hello, and once again, we are live to the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And we are joined once again with the lovely Philip. Philip, how are you doing?
Hello, this is Margaret. Good to be here and talk about this amazing topic today.
I know. Thank you for coming back on the show. And I know it's you're always willing to come and share your experiences. And I think it helps people so much because we often think things are something that they're not. And I think the ritual master path is a little bit like that. You know, we can conjure up lots of different imagery, and we talk about the warrior path and this and that, but it's actually a very unique and very healing path, in terms of working with oneself. And what interests me, Philip, is that you have been quite vocal in the past about your experiences leading up to finding the mystery school. You've been open that you've tried all sorts of different things and maybe experimented quite heavily in drugs and psychedelics and all these different types of things, which leads us to believe that, that's kind of that free and I will do what I want when I want, that kind of, that feeling to it. Again, I don't know if I'm using the right words, and I hope I'm conveying this in the right way, but then, you find the mystery school path, and then the ritual master path is very structured. It's actually a path that gives us a very solid framework. So my question to you is, why would you want to, first of all, start walking a path like that with your past experiences? And indeed, has that given you any benefits? I'd be really interested to know.
Yeah, great question. Big question. I hope I can touch all the bits and pieces here. But Ritual Master Path was the one thing why I kind of joined the mystery school. I mean, life actuation was fine, Empower Yourself was fine. But when I was sitting in Empower Yourself, I was like, I want to be on the Ritual Master Path, because I was sensing that something was missing. In all my spiritual dabbling in all kinds of crazy things, and people can learn about it in all the other interviews, structure was missing, because when we in the spiritual field, it's always said to let go, you got to let go, surrender. And I get it. It's true. We need to surrender and let go to the divine. But we also need to have the discernment, and Ritual Master is about to have the discernment what is truly good for us, to not let go into our negative ego. So Ritual Master is a very structured womb to breed your best and highest self, which also cuts away all limitations or ideas from society. Any conditioning will brought forward on the table, on the platter, and served in front of your face. So you can really choose what is truly beneficial to your great work, right? Great work.
Yeah, it's so interesting, because I too felt like I would be better off with just making my own decisions and being free and nobody telling me what to do and all this kind of, and actually that brought me more heartache and more uncertainty. Whereas when I had a framework, a map, I actually grew so much more and peace. And so it's kind of the opposite way to what we're programmed, isn't it?
For sure. And we believe we have an idea, oh, we are choosing this, but it's still our subconscious. And Ritual Master brings truly a light on our patterns where we think we're choosing consciously and by will alone, right? But it's another pattern that made us believe that is us. So with Ritual Master, I truly can say I'm really choosing this and I'm trusting this. And it's higher light on your ego. It's amazing.
So what would you say the influence of that has been in your day-to-day life? Because, we can talk about this, but people might not be able to, have that tangible, that okay, so that's great, but how is that actually going to help me in my everyday life,
Oh, for sure. Structure, you give your higher self a structure that will help you to manifest the life of your dreams. As some of you might know, I'm coming from the music business, and when you're a musician, you're quite there are no limits, which is sometimes good in the thinking and the expression and the creativity. Like a big of energy, yeah. But every energy also needs a healthy structure, healthy planning, healthy a path, so you can really express and ground that creativity. And what Richard Master gave to my life, be it for my music, be it also for all of my business that I'm doing at the moment, it gave me a framework to actually ground them in a higher capacity that are more aligned with what I truly want to do in life. And if I believe some creatives will hear this podcast, it will help you tremendously to manifest that Shambhala of your creative dreams.
Can I ask you a difficult question? I mean, you be honest. So have you ever felt like the ritual master path has been restrictive or stopped you from achieving anything?
No, never. It definitely triggered me, and I thought, what is this? What am I doing here? But it always opened me up to more potential and showed me ways that I couldn't see before. Yes, it's super triggering and hard at times, but the obstacle is the way, right? So push through and you will be greater at the end. And just push through and trust your heart. There are many people who walked the path before you who had great fruits. So it's all worth it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I wonder, these triggers, what would you say about, triggers in general? Do you think that they're, because obviously, these triggers are within us, that they're our stuff. But often people point the finger and say it's outside of us. It's like, well, Philip, if you hadn't have said that, then I wouldn't have been very angry. That's kind of attitude that we have. Could you give us an, kind of a bit of an insight how removing those triggers has helped you in life, or indeed you didn't know that you had a trigger, and it was changing your life in some way?
Yeah, great question. What comes to my mind is we don't have a North Star in life. It is not the government anymore, maybe never was. Religion is no North Star. So Mystery School is the North Star, and especially the Ritual Master Path is something that helps us to see where we are off course to that North Star. And that everything is a reflection as well, right? So when we're triggered, it's always an invitation from the divine to grow. How much can we choose in all that we're triggered to choose our heart again? As cheesy as it sounds, but that's what it is, right? To choose love, to have the courage to express what's in our heart, maybe to set clear boundaries within that trigger, to express your honest desires of what you see, your light, or also to the trigger might also shine light on where you have not healed, right? Emotion, the emotions are the language of the soul, communicating back to you where you're not healed or in your center. So imagine all your triggers, all the wounds are on steroids when you walk the Ritual Master Path. It's a gift. It's not something that is against you. And you will see that even more. All the lessons of our lives have been there since we are on this planet, but we didn't have the goggles or the glasses to see all these triggers. And finally, the Ritual Master Path helps you in the physical to see your lessons and gives you also the tools to overcome them in the highest capacity. So that's great.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because once I realized everything was down to me, then, okay, I can change it. Because when I thought it was outside of me, it was always like, oh, well, they've got to change, or the government, or this has got to do, the education, this, but, it goes on and on and on. Everybody else has to change apart from me. And then that becomes a problem because you can't change anybody else. You know, and then that becomes frustrating, and you become angry or fearful or jealous or whatever all of these, you know, emotions are coming up because you can't do anything about it. But then when you realize, oh my goodness, I actually can change this, I can overcome, then all of a sudden nothing is too much of, you know, it's not going to take us off balance or off course. So 100% agree. And we have Ritual Master coming up in Ritual Master Novice, which is the first step on that path, coming up in October in London. And do you have any advice for anybody sitting out there thinking, maybe this is for me?
Maybe next year. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you're an second step initiate life activation practitioner, go there. It will bring balance in all that wanting to help the world on an individual basis with using your wand and activate and activate and activate. It will bring balance to have more empowerment, be that warrior, to have a clear no, to be much stronger in all the things you do in your life, in all areas. And it will serve you tremendously if you can get yourself there, which I highly recommend. So go there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, me too. And you know, if you need any help getting there, we can, you know, get in touch with us, and you know, we can always share a little bit more and see if it's something that you might be interested in. And I know there's lots of guides all over the world willing to do that and share their personal experiences of the path. So yeah, thank you so much, Philip. Our time goes, it just whizzes by, doesn't it?
Yeah, my pleasure. Great to be here, co-create with you.
Yes, amazing. And you'll be back on the show. I know. We'll be getting more insights. So thanks so much. And thanks everybody for tuning in again. And we will see you all again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.